went to Crockett. Yeah, I
Crockett
went
High
to
School?
Crockett. It's clo wait, they joined with Finney High School, so now it's called East English, but I went to Crockett Technical High School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so, what did you get into then? Like, did you even pick up the sport, or did you get into any other extracurricular activities? How were your grades, and how would you manage in that? You know.
So prior to that, I went to a school for ninth grade. I went to a school called Benedictine. It was a private school.
Okay.
Once I got there, it kind of clicked, kind of like, yo, you can't keep wilding out on these teachers like this, being, disrupting class and stuff
Oh,
like
you
that.
still was doing that, huh? Okay.
Well, that was up until eighth grade.
That was up until, oh, okay,
Once
okay.
I got to ninth grade, I was like, I don't want to be a loser in life, let me straighten up. So I mean, I tightened my grades up. Again, I went into high school with low level confidence.
Mm.
I'm going into high school. I'm short at the moment. Yeah, y- different world. Like some of them dudes look like me right now, and they were in 10th grade.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, so confidence was low, and then once I got to Crockett, that's when I fully transitioned into like, all right, I'm coming into my own. So I played basketball and football, and what is that? National Honor Society? Is that what
Yes.
that's called? Yeah, so I
Mhm.
was in that as far as grades, different engineering programs, traveled to colleges for the engineering programs and stuff like that. So I
Oh,
started to
okay.
get involved. Yeah,
So that was your niche at the time. You wanted, the engineering.
yeah, I wanted to be an electrical engineer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Hmm.
so you said you got far. You said you explored that, and but let's me go back to college, but in high school, you explored that in advance as far as taking certain courses. Is that what it was?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Certain courses, certain math, science courses. Yeah.
So was you part of like a co-op program? Because co-op, when you go to school and then you work, it rotates between high school and work study. It's like a work study type of thing. Did you do that? Okay, it's like, because
No,
it,
it
it was
wasn't
co-op
that.
back when I was in high school.
Yeah, no, that didn't start until college for me.
Oh, it's
So
okay. All
yeah,
right.
no, it wasn't that. It was like pretty much like gifted and talented program. So I got to
Got it.
go to the University of Wisconsin. My junior year going into high school, I went out there. I mean, junior year going into senior, I did that for the summer going into my senior year, and we were all few of us were competing for a scholarship to go to University of Wisconsin Madison.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Uh,
engineering scholarship.
did you go?
Yeah, I went. I went. I was out there the whole summer. Did the program and everything, and they had two scholarships, and there were three of us. While I was out there, I was like, I don't want to go here. It's too white. I just keep it a buck. So it was me a fish out of water. I really didn't understand what was taking place. The two other women that went, they took the scholarships and went there full ride,
Mm.
and
And
I went to
oh,
Michigan State. Yeah.
you met Michigan State. Okay. Okay, so you went to Michigan State. See, he has beauty and brains, ladies and gentlemen. He got brains and all that. See, there it is. Look at that.
Right. He ain't just
Yeah,
some
but
dumb
but
accent, pretty
but
accent.
it's, yes, but it's like it's something about the creative, the
Mhm.
creative side that
Yeah,
takes over. So we'll get into that. But you went to Michigan State, and what did you study?
I went in studying electrical engineering. I ended up having a degree in telecommunications, media arts, which is TV and film.
TV and film. And what made you get into that? I mean, what was that? What was that nudge for you?
I wanted to party, and engineering classes were too hard.
Oh,
That's my honest answer.
I love it. I love it.
That's my honest answer. I don't have nothing else to say. I wanted to party because that's when I 18 years old is when I got to
Oh
college.
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Lost my virginity. I started drinking for the first time at 21. So I was just getting exposed to bunch of
A
stuff that
whole
people
different
probably
world.
been doing. Yeah.
Like a different world, just like the show, a whole different world.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So was you on campus?
I stayed on campus first
You
2 years. Yep.
First 2 years, okay. And so, you have your degree. Did you, continue with the extracurricular activities at that time in college? I know you said that you found your first love in college, right? That you experienced love for the first time?
Hmm.
And how was that like for you? How did you know it was love?
Because I never felt it, and um, so transitioning into college, like I said, I played basketball in high school, football in high school. I it was a smaller high school, so I really didn't get much notice. and I didn't have people around me that could steer me, into trying to get a college scholarship somewhere. I kind of frowned
Mhm.
upon junior colleges, and I didn't want to go play, at a JUCO. Even though looking back now, it's like somebody could have guided me to, hey, play there for your first year, and then you might get a full ride somewhere else. I didn't have all that, so I was making decisions for myself in that lane,
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
and just
Yeah,
making sure. And then getting to college, yeah. When I met her, I knew it was different. I knew it was like oh wow, like I don't mind committing. Prior
okay.
to that, it was always like certain chicks just,
Options.
yeah, there were options. And again, I wasn't even active. I wasn't having sex or nothing like that in high school. So there was no level to take it to for me.
Okay, and so, how long was that relationship?
That was throughout college.
With
So
dog
like,
college,
so
okay.
like maybe what, second year until we finished.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay. And so, what caused the end of it? Is because because I know a lot of times when you find love in college, you have your college sweetheart, and people end up marrying their college sweethearts or they drift, and I get that. But a lot of times, it's a pro and a con. It's pro and cons when you date in college because not only you're individually trying to figure it out, you're individually trying to find your niche. You're individually trying to pursue whatever it is you're trying to pursue, and then also the distraction is there as well. So sometimes, like when you go through college and you date in college, a lot of times that drift is there. You drift apart because you realize your journey may not align, and so I'm just wondering if that was the case with you two.
I love how eloquent you made that sound. That Because simply, I was out here cheating. That's just what it was. Like I said, I had just gotten exposed to that world. I was cheating, which caused her to cheat. We had a toxic relationship, and that it started off genuine. But again, my influences, the many distractions, other women walking around campus, I was active. I can't even
You're
hold
active.
you.
You
Yeah,
said I was active.
I was active. I had a whole crew that was active. So we were running through the whole campus. But I'm not bragging on that, but I'm just saying that was that moment in my life where I was out here.
I'm sorry. Just when you say I was running through.
We
I'm
were.
sorry.
I mean, that's just what it was. College activity.
Yeah, college activity. Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
don't need no girlfriend or boy. Like no relationship.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Know
like,
your life so you can
you gotta
appreciate it.
get all, I don't like to use the term get out your system. I don't like that term,
That's
but
what I had to
you
do.
have to live, but I'm saying, but you have to live more. You have to live a little bit
Mhm.
more. You
Yeah.
have to have more life in you.
Yeah.
You have more life to live. That's the thing I like to say.
Yeah.
Because like when you say get out your system, it's like, like, oh,
That's
like
what it
here
was,
it is,
though.
but it's like, I don't know. It's something about that, yeah. But
Yeah, I was
yeah,
getting
but
out my system for sure. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah, it just doesn't really, yeah, but I get what you're saying too. But yeah, so did you consider or did you pledge a fraternity?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I was just talking to a friend about that. I never pledged a fraternity because I just was more of an individual. Like it was like I like being me, but
Mhm.
at the same time, so like I looking back on it, I'm like, if I did pledge anything, I probably would have been an alpha or a kappa. Um, but at the time, I just kind of looked at those groups and I'm just like, I'm already pretty popular. Like I don't need to join a group to, like get some type of notoriety. And it's like I felt like I was cooler than those dudes anyway. And that's again, this is back then. This is how I viewed things back then as a kid, that which
Got
I
it.
was.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now just given your knowledge about the Greek organizations, the Divine Nine, and all that good stuff, I always ask, like those who I interview with that are in a fraternity or sorority, I always ask for their take on the divide between the organizations and the church. So I wanted to know, like, do you have a perspective on that?
I
You
don't.
know,
I've never even viewed it that deeply. I haven't.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right, understandable. I get it.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know because you're not part of it, so I get it. I was
Yeah, I've
just
never even looked
yeah.
into it. Like that's why I said I had no. I was a hooper, so I hung with all the dudes that hoop. Yeah.
Okay, all right, understandable. Yeah, I just was curious. Alrighty. So once you got through college, where did you go from there? What happened from that point when you finished college? And
Well,
did you go like did you take a break, or did you go straight into the workforce? Like, how did that go?
yeah, I started working. I moved back home and I worked at a Sprint store
A
selling
Sprint
cell
store?
phones.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
Telecom, pretty much like in the telecom field.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I did that, and then after maybe like a year or so, I moved to New York, and I was like,
Oh,
I'm a model, so I was modeling and stuff like that.
okay. So how did that come about? Yeah, can you give me a little bit
Always
back?
being told I should. I was doing it somewhat in college,
Mm,
and like the whole urban model stuff, and then people started kind of taking notice, like you should probably take this seriously. You got the height, the look, all that type of stuff. Like try it out. And I was thinking to myself, well, basketball didn't pan out.
right.
Cool, I'll just try this because I really don't want to work a 9 to 5. So I did that and did runway shows and all that type of stuff,
Mm,
New York and
oh, okay.
magazines, print ads, all that type of stuff. And I was like, it could be something I want to do, but New York gave me a harsh reality of I wasn't a model. I didn't care that much about fashion, and I was not good at posing and all that type of stuff. And I just didn't care about being that like glamified. Like I didn't care. Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, but you still ended up getting some type of swag appeal, as you grew in your craft. I mean, you
Yeah.
had that swag, or is that a stylist?
That was majority me. And again, I
Okay.
if it wasn't for modeling, I may not have stumbled upon acting. So when
Got
as
it.
a model,
Yeah.
I was like,
Mhm.
I know I'm not a model. Like I may look a certain way. I do not care about all this stuff that goes on in that world. And
Mm.
that's how I discovered acting.
Okay, so going back to New York. How long were you in New York?
2 years.
Oh, okay. And so it was did you relocate to New York solely for that purpose?
I relocated to New York coming off of working at the Sprint store. I was a production assistant for BET in New York.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
worked on the behind the camera essentially. And that was also kind of opened my eyes to acting as well. So it was just small seeds being planted, but I was a PA
Oh,
at
okay,
BET.
cool
Yeah.
beans.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so that's what started your journey into acting. Can you tell me what was your very first acting job? Very first. Very first.
Very first acting gig was a stage play in Detroit in 2005. And I was actually going to audition with a friend as support. He was like, "Yo, can you take me to this audition?" Cool, I'll take you. I had no desire to even try and audition, and I took him as I was there with him as a support. They asked me, "Hey, do you want to read for this part?" And I was just like, "All right, yeah, I'll read for it." I ain't had nothing to lose, honestly, and I ended up getting chosen for that
Mm.
part, and he didn't. So he
Wow.
read for a part. He didn't get chosen, but I got chosen. I was just like,
Wow, and he put you on. Look at that. You done took that part from him. Look at that. Look at you done stole that man.
I definitely felt bad where I was just like, "You didn't get a call back? Oh, man, alright," but
Did you end up going, like, to acting school at that point?
not right after that, but at some point I did down the line. Yeah, right then it was just straight raw. Like stage and like theater itself, I feel like is a raw acting class in itself because you learn
Yes,
so much by
true.
being on stage. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, you went from, being on the stage, and so how did that, transition into film, television?
I did that few stage plays and I moved from New York to LA and that was like '07. So once I got out to LA, that's when I started to understand the work that needed to be put in order to get to essentially where I am now, which is I did a lot of background work. So
Right.
I was on different
Mhm.
sets
Of
doing
course.
background work, production assistant work, and really seeing, from both sides of the lens and seeing how important both are and key components to a film production. So yeah, I did a lot of background work.
Of course. Oh, yeah, that's a definite, but, also wanna get into, the time, because there was a time in your life I read somewhere, it was a time in your life where you had some very humble beginnings, like like and I want to get more into that because a lot of people look at TV. They look at you on the TV screen and you know they look at the end result. They look at you performing well and you thriving in your career, but they don't understand the grind. I
Yeah.
want to get more into the grind because you said that you was homeless at one point. You
Mhm.
had a there was a period where you were very discouraged. You was very
Mhm.
like in a depressive state. Am I right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, sleeping on friends' couches, pursuing a dream, transitioning into having to get corporate jobs. At one point, I was just like, I might as well try and use my degree of some sort. So out there in LA, that's when I kind of tapped into the corporate side of things and dealing with like telecommunication sales, technology sales, software, all that type of stuff. And yeah, in the meantime, yeah, sleeping on somebody's couch,
Mhm.
and really like trying to make ends meet, the starving
Yes.
artist life, and
Mhm.
still,
Yes.
never giving up on the dream. And then all of that pretty much kind of came to a halt, and I started to just focus more on corporate when I met my ex-wife. So I was kind of like, damn, I gotta have something concrete, and moving forward, it just felt like the right thing to do. And it was the life experience I needed. So I mean, sleeping on the couches, shit, eating pizza or trash every day, just to
Mm.
fill my stomach, and being disciplined enough to still go to the gym every single day, all the time, running, just keeping my body right, waiting for those calls, and auditioning, doing self tapes, doing background work, doing modeling work, barely being paid pennies,
Mm-mm. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad you shared that because they gotta have that. People gotta have that in between. A
Oh, you
lot of
gotta be
times,
willing to work for
yeah.
free, like, to
Yes. Oh,
yeah,
yes. If you love it, yes, you got to be willing to do it for free. Yes, I agree. Because a lot of times, even nowadays, you have a lot of people, who feel like once they make their mark on social media, they feel like a viral video or a few videos is going to take them to where they need to be, and it's not. That's not the case. That's not the way it works. So I'm really glad that you was able to share that, like you were willing, and the fact that you, even with you, um, not having stable housing, you say you still um maintain, the gym. You wanted to make sure that you wanted to be ready, so you have to get ready, basically.
yeah.
So I just really admire that about you. The fact that you stayed on your grind, even when you had to,
I stayed
say,
disciplined during the dysfunction.
yes,
I'll just label
discipline
it as
during the
that.
dysfunction.
'Cause it's
Absolutely.
there are many there were many stages, again, where lost everything, gained it back, lost everything, gained it back. Like, it's happened several times. And
Right.
when I say I was disciplined throughout the dysfunction, that incorporates the alcohol abuse, the depression, the sleeping on couches. I mean, shit, I was homeless at the end of last year, coming into this year, and
Really?
yeah, I mean, and it's but again, it's all worth it simply because there's always something fruitful that comes out of being in the dirt. You know,
Mm. Yeah, say that one more time, Emery.
there's always something fruitful that comes out of being
Mm.
like feeling like you buried in the dirt.
Mm. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love that. I love that.
yeah.